like my faction accessories? Do they make me look handsome? Or too handsome?
Proceeding to attack.
Aggressor, you ignorant fools! I'm almost sorry I have to kill you. Almost.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Combatant scan. Mobilizing.
Scoping out a hostile.
Investigating hostile intentions.
Let's weapon prime! Enemy spotted.
I have a fix on their weaknesses. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Target analyzed. Lay down.
Recharge for mayhem!
Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
I spy my next.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified. You suffered extensive damage. Combatant scan.
I will restore my life or avenge my death!
I have a fix on their weaknesses. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Stun weapon ready, Commander.
Knocking them down, mitigating the threat.
I have a fix on their weaknesses.
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Combatant scan.
Just dying. Swine. This might sting. A lot. Preoccupied with the impertinence of my slack-witted brethren, I've missed the answer right in front of me. Our communication devices. There is someone who would have tried to contact me to warn me. Someone who wouldn't have been taken in by a faked kill order. Yes, but he's not like most of the fools we've been contending with. You know, I really should have seen the flaw in recruiting suggestible slackwits to our cause. But Severin is different. I knew him from before. Long before the Glorious Dawn. We had a secret code we used to hide things from our parents before... Well, never mind that. Very well. Let's just say that he was forbidden to associate with me and leave it at that. Anyway, if he used that code to embed a message to me within a Dawn missive, no one would have even known it was there. I should have been checking our comm devices, damn it. Well, I'll rectify that right now. I knew it! He wants to help me find out who's behind this. I sent a reply telling him to meet me here on Cloister. It's not too far and should be safe. I found what I was looking for. No need to continue messing with the Dawn's communication devices.
Settle this. Fortificator at ready status. Check your scope.
Taking the fight out of them. They're benumbed. All the risk. Just die. Swine. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Let's take and cry.
Resorting to violence. I have a fix on their weaknesses. Proceeding to attack. Combatant scanned.
Either restore my life or avenge my death.
Go for fortification. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Vulnerabilities identified.
None shall hide.
Try to limit further damage. Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
Mobilizing. Have a fix on their weaknesses. Yeah. violence. Combatant scanned. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Wrist weapon prime! Target Adam.
Protectorate camp here. One more and anti-supply lines will be connected again.
Aggressor at hand.
Investigating hostile intentions. Camp clear, Commander. We could collect our reward now, if you care. I'll handle this. Check. We charge for mayhem. Ratcheting up my aggression. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Better keep both eyes open.
You're back. I was beginning to wonder if you'd gotten buried in a snowdrift. Did you kill those yay-saying bootlickers good? Your acumen for problem solving is seconded only by your pedantry. Here's your reward. Now get along. I'm as likely to be buried alive by my paperwork as the snow outside.
You. I don't know you, but you, I do. It's good to see you, Asa. It's me, Severin. You know, I've never been to Cloister before. It's cold.
What is wrong with you? Boy, damn it! Did they mentally refresh you?
No, let's just say I'm well lubricated. You tried the new Prestige gin? It helps when you have to do something you really don't want to do. Yes, there are a bunch of sentinels in hiding. When I give the word, they're to execute both of you.
Not before I mentally refresh your brain pan with my knife.
Maybe I deserve to be. I didn't want to do this. I guess I shouldn't have questioned the kill order so loudly. It was real. It came from the exalted leader herself. She summoned me, knew of the message I'd sent, said I'd ruined everything. To save myself, save the Dawn, I had to do this. I'm a coward. I didn't want to die. I'm sorry, Asa.
Absolutely not. We don't need his help. We should just kill him and get on with the Sentinel killing. If we die, at least I'll be taking a great many of them with us. You make a compelling argument. No need to waste our time killing yet more faceless cogs in the Protectorate machine. As fun as that may be.
But you're basically just asking me whether I'd like to be killed by you or the Sentinels. Because when they figure it out, they'll execute me. That gin must have muddled my gray matter more than I thought. I'd have sworn there was no way out of this, but what you're saying makes a lot of sense. Thank you. And thank you, Asa. I thought I was dead.
What an idiot. I can't believe I thought of him as a friend. I can't believe she betrayed us. And the whole of the Dawn to save her own life. What a coward. The unspeakable things I will do when I find her. Well, once I find her. The exalted... No, I won't refer to her as such any longer. Dagmar continually moved around for safety. She always initiated contact with me. We do know that she was in league with the Sentinels, though. There's nothing of it but to get ourselves inside their headquarters on Praetor. We'll track her by accessing their comm system. Lots of killing, I'd assume. And we don't need to worry about their systems. My parents were vigilant. I stole their access codes when I was younger, but never had the nerve or call to use them. Once we do, they'll become unusable, as they'll set off all sorts of alarms. I did mention all the killing, didn't I? What of it? So were a lot of people. It is no longer of any matter, regardless. They are dead. And no, before you ask, I did not kill them.
You. You bring a cultist into my presence? I hope this isn't a sign you've lost your nerve. Or are you planning on removing the cultists from Newton one at a time, like this one here? I was expecting different results.
Well, then it seems today is your lucky day. Ladon and Newton have been dealt with. By us. Care to hear all the bloody particulars? Come on, Commander. You never let me talk about Viscera.
You saw a problem and followed your own methods to solve it. I can admire that. Here's something for your trouble. If you removed Newton's unsightly blemish, I believe you may be trustworthy. I have reason something predicted has come to pass. One of the satellites comprising the Hyperion web was struck by a wayward craft and crashed on Paradise Island. I need someone to recover an informational component from it. The web is an order-crafted network of information collection satellites. Our would-be Protectorate overlords squandered them as glorified surveillance devices. We actually implanted a backdoor in the web to bring it back under our control, should a circumstance like this arise. But we did not foresee certain Protectorate modifications. But let's not speak of that. Find a way past the Protectorate at the crash site, collect the data, and return it here. Violence is likely, but perhaps you'll find an alternative. Only theoretically. The Protectorate guarding the site will be anything but welcoming. You'd likely need to find something, or someone, to wrest their attention away from you. I cannot say how that might be accomplished, unfortunately. Some of our scholars find answers to their solutions at the CAF integration point. Perhaps you might do the same. Collect the data from the crashed site and return it here. May the odds prevail against your bloody demise.
The operating theater is not conducting viewing dissections at this time. That is not an invitation to return to your study and perform exploratory surgery on yourself or a willing volunteer, just to be clear. There is curiosity and there is recklessness. I've learned not to trust the younger, more inexperienced members of our order to know the difference. But I trust you are here for a reason other than to discuss scalpel-happy novices. Evidently. Seeing as you do not appear to be a resident of the garden, however, I will have to charge you. You should notice an immediate improvement. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
Strange to see all this vacant space after the overcrowding at Matriarch's Mercy. Plenty of room for refugees here. If only the Order administrants got their act together.
You have nothing to lose.
How did your hypothesis...
Hello, layperson.
Oh, hello. Cogitate here.
You have served us with distinction.
Smart researchers patronize the scientician's surplus.
I'm cutting you off there, Charles. That's your third Welcome to the CAF integration point. Will it be caffeine or convictions today? Convictions are statements which promote personal and professional confidence and well-being, leading to 22.9% more scientific breakthroughs in a given quarter. Interested? Before I can administer your conviction, I need to ask you a question. In what area of your life do you feel you need the most improvement? Personal or professional? But if you had to prioritize one area over the other, expand on that for me. You are not bound to repeat the mistakes of the past. The future is limitless. Good. Never forget that you are a valuable factor in the universal equation and necessary to advancing the plan. Now then, a brief conversation is customary following the initial service. I haven't seen you around before. New project appointment? Must be an adjustment, all things considered. Come now, don't tell me you haven't noticed our particular strain of hospitality here in the garden. I can only imagine how odd such an abundance of tranquility and friendliness must seem when contrasted with, well, anywhere else in Arcadia, especially in the middle of a war, and so near active fighting. Almost unfeasible, wouldn't you say?
You know, you do a passable impression of a scientician. Did you grow up near one of our settlements? Have a few years of order training?
I'm quite sure I don't know what you mean.
Oh, I understand you may technically count as a member, but there's a perfunctory element to your articulation. You don't believe in the plan, and you're clearly up to something. She sized you up almost immediately, Commander. Been softly probing you for information. I clocked her the first moment she opened her mouth. Appreciate that. I spent decades undercover with only self-affirmations to assuage my vacillating morale. Well, do I have to shoot up the place? Or will you come clean immediately? Who do you work for, little mole?
By the architect, keep your voice down, please. Even if what you say is true, this isn't a conversation best had amidst present company. Let's talk somewhere more private. Behind the CAF integration point, perhaps? You must be curious why I asked for such a discreet rendezvous. Allow me to whet your appetite for intrigue a little further, shall I? I have adequate reason to believe the Order is conducting a mass experiment on the population of Laplace's garden. You might put down your proverbial hand once you hear the specifics. The Order is not cultivating its perfect, plan-abiding society through careful ideological pruning, as the laureates would have you believe. It's simple pharmacology. Put bluntly, they're regulating the emotions of everyone in Laplace's garden through drugs in the water supply. Moderate your volume, please! No one here is in any immediate peril. Probably. The Order claims the subjects here supposedly consented to participate, but it was begun prior to the schism with the Protectorate, so who's to say? Regardless, if the Order has made some kind of pharmaceutical breakthrough, imagine how useful it might be to certain parties to know about it in advance. I represent a group of information traders who would pay well to get their hands on a sample of this drug. Interested? So you've heard of us. Good. That makes this easier. My primary task has been to watch the Order. But I'm confident my superiors would agree. Physical proof is of far greater value than mere rumor. Nothing nefarious, if that's the needle in your conscience. We only mean to study the drug and consider all of its many applications. I know that must read as terribly vague to you, but I'm not at liberty to provide more detail than that. Well, I'm not asking you to do something an honest person would. Think of this as a business transaction, if that eases your mind. No, this is about control. Everything is. Most see this as a war of survival, but what everyone's really fighting for is control over the narrative. To be declared victor and have their vision for Arcadia deemed superior. It follows that a drug capable of suppressing discontent could also be used to suppress greater forms of resistance. That's all. All you need to do is enter water reconditioning and collect a sample of the drug. I believe they call it perspective. This passcode will give you access to the main terminal. Watch the guards patrol before making your way into the facility. If worst comes to worst, I wager Laureate Beckett also has a keycard on him, but that might be tricky to lift. Lately, he's been sitting near the fountains, performing his silly little breathing exercises. If he's not there, then he's likely in conference with the presiding bishop. Whatever you do, be discreet. I can't have any laureates asking questions about me. Understood? It's too diluted by the time it enters circulation. I need the unfiltered drug, which is only accessible to those working in water reconditioning. Outside of work, I have, let's call it an alternative inventory. You'll have to pay, of course, but I'm sure I have something that'll make your job a little easier. And I'd like to offload some of this merchandise. Sounds like a win-win. You're back. Any luck with the sample? I'm charmed my name was among the first to populate your thoughts when attempting to work this problem. I have some Protectorate contacts, and I might be willing to lean my elbow on the scales in your favor, but not until after I've acquired my sample.
I look forward to the reclam. Now, how might we be of use to one another? I scarcely take time to engage in idle conversation, but perhaps this will be illuminating in some fashion. I generally prefer to keep discussions I look for now. How might I scarcely take who told you about that? Were there an experiment being conducted here involving any kind of medicament? Confirming its existence would compromise it. The theoretical existence or non-existence of Order experiments are strictly within the Order's purview. It doesn't concern you. It's not nefarious. It's a waste of time. But fine, you've made your point. We are standing in the experiment. Laplace's garden was built as a scholar's utopia, with this drug perspective as its regulating reagent. This was supposedly to aid us in deciphering the equation. One would think that an organization at active war would have more pressing responsibilities than a scholar's paradise. But surely, I'm only a pessimist. Specifically, a phlogistinated firearm, capable of tunneling through reinforced armor. Broadly, weaponry, research, anything capable of giving our exemplars an edge. In the same way that Cloister is a snowball, yes. I have nothing but respect for Ruth. Without her guidance, the Order may never have found the strength to dissolve its Protectorate bonds. If I had to dig for the smallest critique, I'd note that she shoulders too much. If she collapses beneath the strain, the Order will be rudderless. This we cannot afford. I generally prefer to keep discussions relevant.
What is with the anomalous behavior?
If you need to discharge any sputum, I ask you kindly aim such accretions away from my general direction. Thank you. No, not asleep. Merely waiting. I have no idea. Sometime last year, I predetermined an occasion of momentous import would happen today, right here, at these very coordinates. None taken. Oh, but now I've forgotten to introduce myself properly, haven't I? Leslie Beckett, Oracle Laureate, Seer Supreme, leader of the Department of Predictive Analysis, and not terribly good at informal introductions, evidently. Forgive me if I don't shake hands. I prefer to keep my skin microbiome free of exogenetic cells. You understand. But now, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the agent we've been expecting. I knew loitering at this location would yield results. I, don't suppose you've stumbled upon any of our excogitation chapels around Cloister by chance? Excogitation chapels are order residencies where one can meditate in solitude on specific theorems relating to the plan. They're scattered all around Cloister. Prior to the war, such focused study led to all manner of breakthroughs, with audio logs routinely kept by the scientician in residence. In these unprecedented times, such logs could harbor hidden wisdom. However, with the war on, I've sadly been unable to get my hands on the last of these recordings. All confidential, I'm afraid. Many are still under peer review, but I can assure you, their value is commensurate with, why, the discovery of gravity, or has the potential to be. How unexpected. Almost as if there's a universal plan at work in the universe. Please return when you've found all four. I will be here. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. How do you know about that? I mean, that is quite the allegation. I deny it effusively. Yes, actually. Now that you mention it, I would. As you have cleverly sussed out, Laplace's garden is the subject of an experiment into social conditioning, or curating, if you will, through the use of therapeutic pharmacology. We have been administering a pharmaceutical to the population of the garden via the water supply that aids in emotional regulation. We call it perspective. It's odorless, harmless. Well, apart from the withdrawal, but I can assure you we have our best minds working on that little issue. Minor complication at worst. Irritation, paranoia, increased desire to gamble, oddly enough. All manageable conditions, of course. We are increasingly operating with fewer resources, however, and most regrettably, we've had to eject more and more subjects from the experiment in order to continue it. In a plan-perfected universe, we would have ample time to wean participants off perspective before sending them out of the garden. But, alas, we do not live in that universe. Yet. Fortunately, your discomfort is not a determining factor in the continuation of the program. Primarily, though not exclusively, because you don't live here, at any rate. I have no interest in debating the ethics of this experiment with a layperson. No offense. Don't we all? Nothing beyond what I already included in my 165-page summary of the incident. Why do you ask? His resignation has been duly received and accepted. Where he goes from here or what he does now is up to him. I expect we won't hear from him anytime soon. On a more positive note, the Department of Predictive Analysis's biennial summits will be far less contentious. Now, wait a moment. I think you forget we are not the Protectorate. The Order is not interested in punitive justice. Better to repair the harm than inflict further injury, at any rate. Wiley has elected to punish himself with time There is a high chance he'll arrive at a new equilibrium in his life, plan willing. But let's move on to other topics, please. All this fractious talk is giving me a stomachache and... Oh, I just got rid of the last one. Oh, the garden is a marvel, isn't it? A prime example of how this colony could function if led by science and rationality instead of fear and oppression. Everything within the garden was meticulously selected by a committee of the Order's best archivists to provide for mental clarity and focus. My word, you should have seen the debates over the shrubbery. I've never witnessed such passionate discourse over foliage of all things. And what a history it is. The Order of the Ascendant, along with the Archive, has been headquartered on this moon since the founding of the colony. It was given to us by the matriarch herself. She understood how vital our contributions would be to Arcadian society, which some have forgotten. It is why we're here, in fact. Cloister has two things in abundance: ice and geothermal power. Both made it the ideal location for the archive, and we've utilized its vast computational power ever since. Indeed. It's been a favorite bone fought over by the dogs of war, but I have every confidence it will end up back under Order control sometime in the next year. Or 7. What other stray inquiries occupy your mind? Impossible, I'm afraid. The Protectorate is rather well entrenched at present, and nothing short of an all-out siege is likely to dislodge them. If you're determined, I recommend consulting with the presiding bishop on the matter. She can tell you more.
Well, aren't you the eccentric sort?
Good timing. I just finished sterilizing my instruments, obviously. Do you think we drink unfiltered snow melt? I'm quite sure I have no knowledge of what you're talking about. Are you feeling all right? Paranoia can be an early symptom of several more serious diseases. Apologies. I have so little that meets the threshold of my expertise. But I should not be projecting my wish for a challenge onto a patient. Let's forget this conversation. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
I'll write my next dissertation. The Chamber of Conflict Evaluation and Strategic Planning is currently off limits to non-essential Order personnel.
I look forward now. How might we be of use to one? The purveyor of convictions? Not possible. She's too public. Sub Rosa, here? If that's true, it is especially troublesome. Though it chagrins me to be unable to help, you should speak with Laureate Beckett. If there's nothing else so pressing to discuss, I'd like...
Lift access is currently restricted. Keep moving. At this time, residents of La Paz is gone.
Hey! Only security personnel are permitted in this booth. Leave. Please.
Be the statistical exception to the natural state of entropy in the universe.
For pity's sake, is it the pump or the sealant?
Welcome back, Agent. In what manner can I assist you? Oh, yes, I'm aware. Better to know the spy in our midst than receive a replacement more capable of evading notice. Besides, Miss Doyle's harmless, and she serves the best convictions at the parlor, bar none. Indeed. Who doesn't value a good reminder of their inherent value? Did she express that as her intention? You should do as she asks. Get her that sample. This is an unparalleled opportunity to see the shape of Sub Rosa's web. We only need plant the right fly. After collecting the sample, mix it with this liquid tracer. It'll make the drug functionally inert and allow us to track it wherever it shows up next. Not as such, not at the moment. However, let me put it this way. Any potential for interference above null is worth keeping an eye on. I have every confidence you will make the right choice. Well, 83.4% confidence, but let's round up, shall we? Here, take this key. It will grant you access to water reconditioning, which you can find on the eastern side of the garden. You will also need this passcode for the terminal inside.
I look for now. How might...
Hello, layperson.
Have an intellectually stimulating day. I hope you have good news for me. I knew I had the right person for the job. You've saved me quite the headache. Your reward, as promised. You did sharpen my pencil, so I suppose sharpening yours is only fair. I'll put in a word with my associates to pass along to whatever Protectorate forces are on site to expect you. It's no guarantee, but at least they won't fire upon you on site. In exchange for my help, however, I want you to bring the data back here so that I can make a copy of it. Before you hand it over to the Order, to be clear. Do we have an accord? You've no doubt heard the phrase, knowledge is power. Sub Rosa benefits from all the knowledge it can acquire. I can tell you no more than that. We do work well together, don't we? Return here when you have the data. I'll be waiting.
I look forward to the reclamation of the Hyperion web. Now, how might we be of use?
Welcome, intrepid consumer, to Auntie's Choice territory. The wonders of witch's grasp ahead.
Can you hear me?
Hey, your family is depending on
How do
you.
you eat purpleberry
Gotta
crunch?
shake off these bakers, man.
I've no fair ideas of how to proceed, White. Nothing we do seems to garner the... Yes? Can I... wait. Welcome, potential customer, to the majesty of Auntie's military might. Normally, I would be at your service, but I'm dealing with a situation here. It's really none of your...
Sarge, maybe they can help. The two of us are certainly out of options.
And who'll pay them for the assistance? You? Very well. The issue is our compatriot, Trooper Hayes. He seems to have some kind of break or shock to the head, and he's, well...
Same sucker, bad habit blocker. It tracks every movement like a hunting death stalker. Try a gross habit, it sucks nadgy bits. This flogger's a stopper, you just can't brush off her.
He's that.
Ever since the attack last night, he's been unresponsive and communicating only in jingles. At first I thought it might be some manner of marketing ploy, but it seems permanent. The artillery bombardment was particularly heavy last night before the assault began, and the rounds shook the ground so badly that our lantern flew off its hook on the wall. Hayes put his hands over his ears, lay feet on the ground, and after the only thing that had come from his mouth were jingles. Old archaic jingles, ones I haven't heard in years. We must rouse him back to sanity. He's their sole earner, and should he be discharged, just the cost of his family's lodgings on the claim is more than enough to bankrupt them. Yes. Well, maybe. They're the kind of sales roles you take when you're young, before you reach an age to become a real earner.
It lets me eat until I'm stuffed onto my feet. What did you say? Absolutely. I have a whole sales sampler full of all the calorie... what is... Was I just trying to sell you something?
You don't remember? He's been wandering around singing nothing but jingles for almost 2 whole days.
Poppycock! I don't even know any jingles by heart.
Well, I'll be damned. I absolutely cannot believe that worked. Thank you for your help, stranger. His whole family would owe you a debt, if they had anything to pay it with.
Take whatever business you're running elsewhere. Whoa there, Go. Say, have you ever considered the benefits of becoming a semi-confidential, unpaid informant for Auntie's Choice? Breathe once for yes. Field Agent Auerbach, proprietary inside acquisition. Our team's presently occupying these premises, but haven't fully brought them to heel, per se. Say, you look like some sort of rogue former member of the Order. Maybe you could tell us what this place is supposed to be.
Me? Part of the Order? Oh, no, dear. I assure you I simply share their love of sweeping cloaks and sciencey-looking accessories. I shall update my wardrobe to avoid such confusion.
Would you happen to be familiar with this campus? We're not entirely clear what it was used for. As far as we can tell, Order's been cleared out for some time. If not, I might politely inquire what exactly you're doing here. We scour rival facilities for hidden recipes, secret formulas, special ingredients, and assorted confidential internal know-how, then develop it into products to bring to market. It's a unique brand of warfare, exclusive to Auntie's Choice, designed to break incredible ingenuities out of cloistered captivity and share them across the galaxy. Information wants to be freed, then priced and shared along understood lines of commodification and distribution. That seemingly unimposing edifice over there? Good luck with that. Lost a few peons in there. Place is full of deleterious traps devised by Order ingenuity. Whatever's stored inside must really be something. At some point, we'll work up the nerve to return. Been scouring all the other buildings clean since. A mess of energy-based barriers. A few seem pretty intent on bisecting the odd dawdler, and prove rather good at it. Oh well, suppose we'll let you in. You might disable a death trap or two with your bodies, then we can step over your cadavers and maybe use them for a shield. Alternately, if you manage to find anything marketable, probably be game to barter for it later. Assuming you don't die, which in that case, we'll probably just retrieve it off your corpse. Either way.
Got some test sprats volunteering to jump into that meat grinder, I see.
Well, you have needs. I have got a good supply of looking.
Do I look approachable? Because I'm not. Maybe focus on self-bettering yourself.
Oh, look who finally decided.
Anais, you're not supposed to be here.
Events prove otherwise, don't they? While you were taking your time arriving, I found a way inside these corporate drones haven't discovered. I've grown rather adept at sneaking in and out of these so-called restricted areas unseen. Yes, plenty of them. And scads of dead Auntie's Choice employees. They didn't get very far. I deemed it wise not to press much further. Peeked around a little. They've conveniently posted signs where various types of dangerous research materials are stored away.
Leave it to the Order to rigorously catalog everything.
Burn-down initiation is listed on the top floor. They destroy materials through immolation there.
The research will be in reinforced containers, so enlisting the facility's own incineration measures would be prudent.
I saw signs for heretical miscellany, time-wasting contrivances, detrimental cognitive enhancers, and prevaricated hypotheses, in addition to cataclysmic ends. Perhaps that means the Order's doing an effective job. Well then, shall we proceed?
Anais, stay here. Please.
I expected such to be your attitude, but I'll have you know that
I am not doubting your abilities. Quite the opposite. I need you to guard this entrance. Anyone appears, come running.
Fine. Go. I uncovered a vent in that office. Standard Order redundancy measure. Let's out past the barrier over there.
I'll hang back a moment while you depower that fence. Wriggling through vents is a young person's game after all. We'll stay here. You find a way to disable these fences.
Research studies prove that disengaging from complex tasks for a time to engage the mind in unrelated challenges has downstream beneficial effects for problem solving. Thus, our department attempted to design a series of stress-reducing educational challenges to facilitate these efforts. After some light early successes, we refined further and received results beyond our wildest intent. Soon, members of other departments were idling away in our offices for hours, absorbed with what soon became known as brain puzzlements. My personal productivity was quite adversely affected by the mather. I still see it sometimes when I close my eyes. We finally locked them away to keep from engaging with them. Unfortunately, copies were smuggled out and distributed far and wide, leading to the oft-cited equational delay incident.
Hello? Someone there? Hello? Thank the law somebody came by. I've been rationing my anti-Cleo Borst rockets, and you know what? Your tongue turns black if you eat them all week. Might concerning, since it's all I have. Boy, am I out of the loop. I clearly ought to read more. Last 6 days would have been the perfect time to bone up on all the latest academic journals, too. Bad string of luck. We was sizing up the place, well, the lobby, when our boss ordered us to find an off switch for them traps, which required us to negotiate through or around said traps to do so. A bunch of the others got killed. I got stuck in here. Boss left with the rest. You think you could get me out somehow? Like, right about now, even?
Hold on. You're not even remotely considering releasing him, are you? A trade secret vulture from Auntie's choice? Free to roam in a building full of order secrets? Granted, time-wasting contrivances is concerning only to those of us in the Order. But just one of those brain puzzlers put back the solving of the universal equation by months. I certainly wouldn't want Auntie's choice obtaining research related to cataclysmal ends, or monetizing prevaricated hypotheses for that matter. At the end of the day, it's just an Auntie's choice auxiliary dabbler. Hardly a cute little woolly cow or something. That's actually a valid point. We shouldn't forget who we are, and I suppose I'm not who I was.
I don't understand what you two are talking about, but it sounds positive, I think.
Do whatever you think is best here. I still don't completely agree, but I trust your decision.
I promise not to, blow up the universe. Or whatever it is you two are worried about, I guess. Can you let me out now, please? Phew. Well, that's a relief. Didn't think I'd ever get free. No thanks to you, ma'am.
Be grateful you're not on fire.
Don't have to tell me twice. This is all the bits I have on me. I'll be out of here as soon as it seems safe.
You're young and spry. You can handle that. We'll stay here. Who left this vent open? Security around here was tighter in my day. Did I read that correctly? Seemed concerning.
Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we've got company in the form of an Auntie's Choice patrol. Seems their representative wishes to parley.
Don't shoot! Like she said, I'm just here to talk. No, we're not exactly friends at present, but, temporary truce, perhaps? Believe I've pieced together what you all are up to here. And I am willing to offer a mutually beneficial arrangement. Why, you did indeed. And we are exceedingly grateful for it. Spied the signs on the way up. Our team has a keen interest in much of the research stored here. But cataclysmic ends, which I presume you're here to destroy, don't like the sound of that at all. By all means, burn every last trace. But let us keep the rest, and you'd benefit as well.
The idea of any Order research falling into Auntie's Choice hands is utterly abhorrent to me. I advise a rigorous refusal, as in no witnesses.
I could hear that, you know. Hoping she's not your main negotiator here. Oh, nothing particularly heinous. We may conceivably utilize some information in the possible formation of potential new products. No harm to you, or anyone.
Can't really predict how Auntie's Choice would market heretical miscellany, but I could easily foresee them rushing detrimental cognitive enhancers to market.
Consider it a deal. No need to shake, as I've taken the liberty of making a quasi-legally binding surreptitious transcription. Or will claim to have later. If it's all the same to you, I'll just dawdle here while you complete the process. You know, in case you change your mind.
I'll prep the burners and make sure we have no more visitors. Burners are lit. Control board is activated. Commence the burn down process.
Well then, that seems sufficiently carbonized, cinderized. No half measures from the Order. Say what you will about them, but they are nothing if not thorough.
Excellent. Well, a deal's a deal. Meet me downstairs after you're done here, and we'll settle up.
Never pegged you as such an opportunist. But perhaps there's more to this play than I'm seeing. Perhaps I should be relieved Auntie's Choice didn't get anything universe-threatening.
My original notes and research are burnt to a crisp. It's over, finally.
I'm sorry, but I saw on the terminal that an external party gained authorization to study it. There's at least one set of copies out there. Give me some time. I'll find them.
What do you need from me?
To go on and live your life. Around other people, not holed up in a dilapidated shack. We'll settle the rest.
You can't possibly expect to leave me behind again without a fight.
Why don't we burn that bridge when we get to it? We still need to get out of here first.
Pleasure doing business with you. I can see we'll have our hands full digging through all you've left us here. We deeply appreciate your assistance in further expanding the ever-growing Auntie's Choice proprietary insight catalog. Be seeing you.
Suppose this is goodbye. No. I recognize that look in Marisol's eyes. There's nothing for it. Been interesting to see you. Before I forget, I meant to give you this. Little something I made.
So we're good? You and I. Everything settled?
Oh, I wouldn't go that far, but good as ever. Don't think I don't see what you're doing with all this, though. You've always been who you are, but you weren't you for decades. A new cause comes up and you take it on immediately. Because saving the universe is easier than confronting yourself. Whoever you are now, whoever you're going to be, just take care. Don't be a stranger.
Goodbye, Anais.
Yes, she's every bit as keen-edged, vexatious, and contrary as I remembered her. Appreciate your support. Been a spell since I could rely on anyone like that. Though, suspect that's my own damn fault. Ah, Anais snuck something by me again, didn't she? What was that last thing she said? Don't be a stranger. Right. All right. I suppose you remain on my good side. May the plan favor us against long odds.
Let us make our way to Paradise Island at once. I'm glad. I only hope we do not pay for this decision in the future. But let us focus on...
Sometimes I get the feeling we're not welcome here. Like the protectorate folks resent us liberating.
Every time I think I'm having a bad day,
Inez, have you come back for a tune-up? I've got just the injection for that. Freezes those pesky muscles right back into place.
No, yeah, a tune-up sounds good. I actually brought a few other grafting parts with me, if you reckon my arm can handle a stitch or two.
Oh, these are pristine indeed. Is this of an ursopod? My, I haven't seen one of those in many years. Oh, and a mantis swarm hive? The hunting must be good wherever you ran off to.
Yeah, you could say that. Since Doc's given her blessing, which do you reckon I go with? The ursopod's mucus gland could absorb some incoming damage, if you don't mind getting a little sticky. The mantis swarm hive, however, would be best for crowd control. Say the word, and I'll sick these little guys on any enemy in our vicinity. I'm intrigued by either option, really. Hive it is. Just refrain from any buzzing jokes.
Oh, the mantis swarm is a wonderful choice. Hold still, dear. There. I dare say you won't be needing any tune-ups in the near future. But I do trust you'll find an excuse to come by for the occasional visit. By the by, where did you find these parts? What is it, dear? You look, well, a bit like you've been stung by a terror ray. I've got ointment for that too, you know.
There's a grafting lab way out on Cloister that was still operational. Till recently. I found it, Doc. And... law. I ain't seen any horrors like that.
Still operating? Inez, do you feel all right? The program was shut down more than 6 months ago. Any further funding would be in direct violation of Auntie's orders.
I know what I saw. They were brutalizing folk and creatures. Paying them no mind, giving them no honor, even if they succumb to the process. The doctor there, he killed a friend of mine. And you're telling me you knew nothing of it?
Inez, I swear I didn't. That sounds... oh, Sovereign's mercy, that sounds precisely like what I would protest with every breath.
The creatures they were experimenting on broke out of their cages, killed most of the staff. But you know what's worse? Keeping a dead soldier's body on display. Like a thing. I found the doctor in charge, still alive. We spoke briefly, and I allowed him to live. On the condition that he redeems himself and uses his research for good.
But this ain't the extent of it, I fear. I need to find out who's responsible for all the...
Oh, Inez, I know you do. But with the program officially shuttered, it would be awfully difficult to ascertain which individual has the pockets to fund such a... Wait. Yes, that does shed light on a correspondence I received recently. A vice president sent a message asking for my presence and scientific expertise to discuss a unique opportunity. I found the secrecy odd at the time, but I do suppose it lines up with your discovery.
Ain't surprising. What's his name? Where can we find him?
His name is Willard Conan, VP of Experimental Operations. The very man who was in charge of the grafting program at its inception. He's... Oh, I know that look. If you mean to do something, I beg you.
I just mean to have a little chat. I will be asking Willard to reform the grafting program. You heard from Dr. Rasmussen, right? I spared him and his research for this purpose. If there's good to be had from the program, then Willard needs to invest in that good. And you're my first choice to lead the new program.
You honor me. I did receive a message from a Rasmussen, yes. He is on his way with research to hand over to me. But it would bring purpose back into my work. All of Fairfield knows as well as I that I've been craving it for some time. And if it helps folk like Inez, I will help you. Vice President Conan's office is aboard the Undisputed Claim, the flagship of Auntie's Choice. I do not know where exactly, as I've never been, but it's my understanding that you will need to present this calling card to gain entry. Inez, what you are doing is noble, and I wish you the greatest of successes.
Thank you, Doc. Now, you get those grafting tools ready, because I ain't intending to fail.
Our technician manifests at last. Halt there. You match the description of the technician we have been vigilantly awaiting, but as they say, assumptions made are mistakes readied. Present yourself, so that I may take the measure of you. What are they teaching you machinists these days? Some might label me mistrustful, but I wonder at your sudden assignment to this matter. Your tardiness, too, invites questions. It raises doubt you are even who you presume to be. On second appraisal, I see I was mistaken to doubt you as a resolute subject of the Protectorate. You clearly carry yourself as one with a fearsome purpose. You may avail yourself of the satellite. Matriarch guide you in your work.
Stop right there, Arbiter Rao. Though I am here on official business, I would prefer to keep this cordial. The Consul seeks answers related to your recent activities. I approach you openly in the hopes that you will comply with his request and come with me peaceably.
What do you blather about? Delay me and you will pay the price.
Not only do I have more pressing business with a colleague, but I do not answer to Sentinels or the console.
His loss. I heard Auntie's in the market for a big, dumb, winsome bodyguard. He'd be paid handsomely in Spratwurst and backhanded compliments.
Questions of intent. Now, what shall it be, Arbiter Rao? I sent the message that drew you here. Virgil shall not arrive to aid your decision-making.
Virgil's not coming, you say? Curious. And here I was thinking I was already present.
Virgil! Touting your flair for the dramatic, even now, I see. But I fear our reunion must wait until we've dealt with this pawn of the console.
I had not expected a third party, but it is so much the better. I'm afraid you must come with me as well, Arbiter Montag.
A sentinel demanding anything of me? What madness! Neither Tristan nor I shall accompany you anywhere. Any attempts to force us shall be met with violent reprisal.
I'm somewhat embarrassed to acknowledge that, in my haste to see Virgil, I seem to have led us into a trap. Though ironically, it appears Virgil has been caught as well.
This fool impersonated my credentials, triggering a system alert that led me here. A lowly deception, even for one of the console's own.
It was a necessary deception, and one not undertaken lightly. Its aim was to draw your colleague here without bloodshed, for I know he would not have arrived at my request.
Your explanation does not pull my heartstrings, Sentinel. Yet you at least had the sense not to assail us outright. Surrender, and perhaps you may yet live.
You may not believe me, but I have much admiration for the work you and Arbiter Montag have done for the Protectorate. I've no wish to fight. Enough loyal subjects have died in this war. Come willingly and peaceably, I beseech you. Both Arbiter Rao and Arbiter Montag were explicitly requested to return to Praetor by the Consul, alongside all other Arbiters some months ago. Refusal without reason is treasonous.
And I'm sure that if we went, we would have been returned whole, neither interrogated nor mentally refreshed. As if your master's nefarious agenda would allow that.
I've no inkling of what you speak. My only master is the Protectorate. My only agenda, the return of peace throughout Arcadia.
Very well. But be warned, I'm not exactly trained in the art of improvisation. We'll need a very good reason for my not answering the consul's summons.
Come now, do you expect me to believe that? Not only are you not in shackles, but you're also still alive. I can't imagine Arbiter Rao would have allowed that willingly.
Yes, we were going to find their stash of contraband Protectorate rations, with all the labels crossed out. Architect preserve us.
I see. It would appear I misjudged this situation after all. I must reinterpret my orders. Accosting you illegally and the subsequent punishment would be mortifying.
So he's chosen not to attack, but the situation has not changed. We spare him. His master gains another tool to cover up the Supreme Arbiter's death.
What are you talking about? I do not seek to hide the Supreme Arbiter's death. I seek to find her killer. Such was next on my list of duties, after I apprehended you.
This is all clearly a tactic on the Consul's behalf. By sending out his agents, he seeks to deflect suspicion from himself. That is, if our compatriot here speaks true.
What must you think of me, or my fellow Sentinels, that you'd even suggest I'd lie to Arbiters? I'm not the one positing scurrilous accusations about our beloved Consul. But you needn't take me at my word. My next assignment was to investigate the Oculus collating post. A hidden room there may contain information pertinent to the investigation. I cannot speak to its purpose, only that it is strange and worthy of investigation.
Or it is yet another falsity, intended to draw us close before snapping our necks.
It's a risk worth taking. I can endure whatever the Consul sends my way, and if there is a minuscule chance that this Sentinel speaks true, we must investigate.
I'm pleased to be of service, in some manner or another. Protectorate subjects should aid one another. There is no duty to be done. It is within your Arbiter's rights to learn the truth of their mentor's death. And as mentioned, I misinterpreted this situation. I will take my leave of the lot of you, and in peace. It is my sincere hope that circumstances are as you claim, lest we be forced to meet again.
I shall follow him out, just to certify he intends to act as he speaks. That's done with. He left peaceably, as he said, though I have my doubts for how long.
That was some impressively savvy improvisation before, Commander. Without you, circumstances would have certainly devolved into a battle to the death.
I'll spare you my doubts for the umpteenth time, Tristan. I just hope the risk is worthwhile.
I appreciate your caution, but it is quite unnecessary. My comrade and I will look into Oculus collating post. I do. It's important to follow whatever leads we can if we wish to find the truth. I regret we've not had more time to talk, Virgil. It has been ages.
Worry not. I'm certain we'll have plenty of time to converse when you've finished your investigation. I have several leads of my own to pursue, as a matter of fact. Until our paths cross again, my friend.
Have an update about that personal matter. You know, the one that might end the universe. The other universe-ending thing. Back at Winter's Grasp, I found someone was continuing Anais, Sir Bujold's research. Believe I have a lead on their identity. I wholly agree. I pieced together information from earlier leading to Golden Ridge on Dorado. Oddly enough, to the anchor hold at Matriarch's Mercy Monastery. I had Val set the location on our map. I recognize we're juggling multiple crises, but I'd suggest we journey there sooner than later. Inquire away. I may even respond. More than anyone alive, I suppose. Not that I agree with all of her stated conclusions. In our time at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection, I gained many colleagues. But the work had cognitive demands. Let's say I possessed more associates than friends. She needn't have worried, though. I have recently come to appreciate personal connection. Theoretically. In a typically roundabout fashion, more or less. Not sure how she concluded that so quickly, but it was a reasonable hypothesis based on available data. I mean, of course I know who I am. Or that is, I know who I was. Who I am now is a work in progress. A revise and resubmit. May all our travails add to the equation.
Commander, I've been thinking. Can I bend your ear a moment? We got the intel we need, Commander. The undisputed claims our destination. If we find this Willard and convince him to use this grafting research for folks' betterment, well then, all this hurt we've seen will have counted for something. Been doing some thinking about what happened in the lab. I went there to kill that man for what he did to Ortiz, and instead, let him walk away with his research. I know you never liked dealing with Auntie's choice. Seems you're right not to. But I still think we got a real shot here of making things better. Auntie's choice can't be trusted on their own with this research, that's clear. But if someone like me were to guide them, maybe they can be shaped into what I thought they were. If they could actually help folk like they claimed they would when they liberated Tau Ceti, it'd make life better for anyone. Elsewise, there'll only be more victims in their wake. Ain't just saying that, are you? Ortiz sent me a message because he knew I would take action, that I'd remedy the betrayal both of us faced. If he were here now, he'd understand, I think. Are you with me? Thanks, Commander. Maybe this is what folk mean by the architects setting things in motion. If I hadn't broken my contract, I wouldn't be here. Maybe proving myself was never the intention. Maybe this is what I was meant to do. Let's just see what Willard's got to say, all right?
laxative with 3 kinds of fiber. Soluble, insoluble. Inconsolable. Auntie's choice.
I recall this place. These stations have been automated since my day, though this one has certainly accrued dust. Odd that it would be in a state of lockdown. I have a general override that should allow us entry, but anything specific to local systems, including security systems, may be beyond me. These security measures should not be operational. The station seems to be on reserve power. Power. We better tread carefully. Well, no one is here, lying in ambush. Perhaps some stray systemic error activated the entryway defenses. We'd best first report to security ops, lift this lockdown. From there, we can set about reactivating the station's primary power, which will allow us to explore unhindered. Is that a footprint in the dust? This station shouldn't have received visitors in years. Be on guard. Someone else may be here. My passcode shall not work on this terminal. Unlocking it may be a creative endeavor. good effort lifting the lockdown. We may now reactivate the station in the reactor room. The reactor activation circuits shall likely be dysfunctional. It's a known issue with these old stations. Let me corroded transistors, dust in the actuator. Did a sprat gnaw on this? Sweet sovereign, what a mess. There. I think I have it. Let us hope my override does not trigger any security alerts. Good. This should avail us of a much simpler search. Let us return to the central room once more and see if anything seems out of place. Anything that may be a clue as to the hidden room's location.
I'm certain of movement below.
Passcode is limber. No. Let's try amulet. No. Wingtip. No. Sovereign's gavel. I should remember this. Damn it. Ambergris can't be it. That's too short for a facility like this. Wait. Oh, no.
Of the strategies of feigning innocence I have seen, this is certainly the most pathetic. I accuse you of trespassing upon the private domain of the Sovereign. For these crimes... Wait, I know you. Luther Okada? What in blazes are you doing here? And why do you wear a Sub Rosa uniform?
Because I work for Sub Rosa? More than that, I don't think I can say, Cadet Rao. Mostly because I'm not supposed to, but also because I can't remember.
Okada is, or was, a petty troublemaker, though a crafty one. As cadets, Virgil and I apprehended him often. Sometimes Virgil let him go, but he usually went to mental refreshment.
Often enough to know the technicians by name. Until I forgot them again.
This truly is no ploy. But mental refreshment is supposed to return wayward subjects to the proper path, not cause... whatever this is. Despite his faults, the Okada I knew was ultimately benign. But the fact remains that he now trespasses in a secure facility. Duty dictates that I must execute him. That's a wise path. One that shall give me time to contemplate what must be done.
An arbiter used the word execute in the last few seconds, yet I remain alive? didn't think that was possible. I was sent here to do a specific job, but some of the details are hazy. Gives me conniptions. I was hired by an anonymous third party. They provided me with the station's location and credentials to bypass its defenses. May have tripped a few on my way here. Can't recall. I was told the station was abandoned, which it clearly isn't, and to break into this terminal and delete the information on it. That is all I know. Well, I'm surprised too. This used to be second nature. Now I'm nothing.
Ignorance does not excuse criminal action. Even if you did not know the severity of this infiltration, it remains a deadly serious infraction.
He and the other one must have put me away close to 12 times each. I used to be something of a ne'er-do-well.
Ne'er-do-well is a polite term. He was a repeat malefactor. I believe last time we met, he'd vandalized a janitorial automech in an attempt to make it spew profanity.
I got 18 months of hard labor for that. Served me right.
My patience is beginning to dwindle. We should put an end to this morose situation as soon as we can. I don't know that I can. He is a trespasser. His slipping mind matters not. I am familiar with the concept, but in the Protectorate, intent matters little. Manslaughter still results in death. Sedition can happen unconsciously, just as it may consciously. There is a difference. A murderer's family is imprisoned, whereas they are not in the case of incidental death. But I do suppose the perpetrator's punishment does not change. Though this is hardly the place for a discussion about Protectorate law, I do at least see your point. It is fortunate you have gained my trust, for I would not bend to one who had not. Justice must serve a purpose. Okada may live, and I hope we shan't regret it. Be gone. You've been granted your final stay of execution. Should our paths ever cross again, you know what will occur.
I didn't think this would happen. Thank you, Cadet Rao. My apologies for all the strife I caused over the years. And you, without you, I would have been reduced to my composite parts. Here, take these. I suppose you'll have more use for them than I, in my present state.
Allowing a Sub Rosa agent to leave with his life in the heart of a Protectorate station. We may have to speak on this further. But let us see what we came here for first. The hint pertaining to the passcode on that terminal, I believe I know the answer. It is contained in a phrase the Supreme Arbiter drilled into our heads for many years. An Arbiter's gavel is judgment, and an Arbiter's scalpel is analysis. Try entering that. From that terminal, it sounds as if the Supreme Arbiter had some sort of business with the Consul. To what end, I wonder? The tone of her response seemed relaxed, but I do not believe she would have met with the Consul unless she had no other choice. And that feckless agent. I don't understand his aim or who he would be working for. Only the Consul. But the Protectorate does not ally itself with Sub Rosa. I couldn't imagine the Consul pinning his duties on someone so clearly out of sorts as our recently departed friend. Besides, he has his own agents. Well, at least we found what we needed on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I only hope whatever awaits us at Central Control is less tumultuous. As for Okada, I'm not sure what to think. My decision to allow him to go free was at odds with all I have been taught. He was a traitor and should have died. Yet, I cannot help but feel strangely justified. That's just it. I am supposed to be an objective judge of moral intent, hence my role as a peacekeeper for the Protectorate. How can I maintain this role if I falter? To me, there cannot be. That is, there isn't. That's not possible, and I cannot afford to think of it as such. Altogether, I think visiting this station was fruitful for my ultimate task. Hopefully, we'll grow ever closer to discovering the Supreme Arbiter's true killer. And, circumstances aside, I appreciate your accompanying me here, Commander. It means much. Now let us return to the incognito and plan out our next steps.
Try this again, Rao. Auntie is bringing the free market to Arcadia. The free market is what allows anyone to choose their path in life. The free market is good.
Free market? Ah, preposterous. If it were free, anyone could take what they wished at any time.
It ain't free like that. It's free in the sense that it's been liberated from outside control. Like the Earth Directorate, or your sovereign. Folk can buy what they want, when they want.
What if someone needs something they cannot pay for?
Then they are free to take on work until they can pay for it. Look, in our society, we ain't limited by ration cards or clearance levels. Only by our industriousness. Inspiring, right?
Yes. The idea of the multitudes needing to slave for basic necessities is truly inspiring. Feelings of revulsion. It would appear our next stop is Praetor, specifically Central Control. I look forward to traveling there, once you're sufficiently prepared. Potentially. In the past, the locale was shared equally between us Arbiters and the Consul Sentinels. However, considering the traitors crawling throughout the rest of Arcadia, I fear what duplicity the Consul may have wrought at Central Control. No. The Sentinel worked on the Consul's behalf. I do note that the agent was an odd wrinkle, but that still does not fly in the face of what I believe. Excellent. I look forward to it. Let us make our way to Central Control forthwith.
Ain't a chance we're getting through this. We want to get to the lab, we ought to find a path around.
Thankful that sound. Mortar fire! We must take cover immediately.
Countermeasures at the ready, Commander.
Get you healed.
Can't come down here.
Have to help, discreetly. Commander, you're bleeding.
Those fools! Protectorate subjects should know better than to attack a Protectorate arbiter. I had no choice but to judge them as traitors to the Protectorate. Why would they simply open fire? Why wouldn't they attempt to conversate? Then they should have reported me to their superiors rather than attempting to exact justice themselves. I shall continue to answer slights of this nature through violence, but hopefully I shall not need to...
Vitals looking a mite marginal, Commander.
I am loath to admit I require medical assistance.
Shifting to a left exposed spot.
My thanks and my hammer.
There, Commander.
Unleash my muscle! I am primed to...
Raring to go.
contentment.
Invasive elements! Changing magazines, efficiently and in short order. They covet our due bounty. Payback will be swift and terrible!
Commander, you attacked my fellows when they have nary... Were you defending yourself? I could perhaps understand, but you assailed the... I will... No...
malefactor ahead.
Invasive elements flurry. I shall not stay your execution.
So, that graft of yours, were you given a choice of which one to...
Seeking cover.
Now, what were we saying? So, that graft of yours, were you given a choice of which one to receive initially?
Where it was placed?
Nope. Just signed a few papers, paid the fees, and got wheeled into surgery. Woke up with one hell of a surprise on my back. Thought a damn sprat was attacking me.
I don't believe I follow. Isn't the entire benefit of your ideology freedom?
I...
Let us renew our prior conversation.
Well, yeah, of course. I had the freedom to become a graft recipient, right? That it was an experimental program, and it felt the scientists to decide how to proceed, so... yeah.
Enemy operative!
Our enemies envy our... Come in, come right in, and be refreshed. Sneer at our contentment.
Subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times.
Are you ready to realign with the paradigm? To shed all manner of imperfect thoughts?
All it takes is some light instruction, a restorative cocktail,
And a quick dip is delayed particularity to abrade your imperfections. I'm Head Refresher Cool.
and I guarantee when you exit our doors,
You'll be a productive member of our perfect society again. Soon you'll say, goodbye, imperfect thoughts.
hello contentment.
I don't know what in the void we just got hosed down with, but it's,
Greetings, subject. Welcome to the Wellnetarium. You're not on my schedule. A walk-in, then. Wonderful. Once you're properly evaluated, we'll have you well on your way to refreshment.
That doe-eyed expression, those ambling sentences. I do believe this individual is mentally refreshed. We may be able to use that.
Oh, you appear to have questions. a telltale sign of needing refreshment. Why, of course. Naturally. It is the duty of every subject to submit for a quick mental tune-up whenever we experience imperfect thoughts or lack a little zeal. Our intake evaluation automech here simply means to ask you a few questions, to amply delineate your phreноmetric matrix. A baseline understanding of your character and background will assist our facilitators in determining the ideal regimen necessary to abrade any perceived personality irregularities. Yes, as it is an unthinking automaton capable of mindlessly parroting pre-programmed responses. Placid Waters Wellnetarium is the primary mental refreshment facility on Praetor. We are tasked with ensuring local subjects are serene, untroubled, and operating at peak efficacy. Right as rain, neighbor, right as rain. And soon you'll be just like me. Head Refresher Gould says mental refreshment increases tractability, stifles undue agitatement, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry. I've undergone the procedure myself, several times they say, and look at me now, never more content. None authorized to you, not until completion. Now there. No need to fear evaluation. It's just a few brief fleeting questions, all perfectly harmless, I assure you. Simply step over to my automechanical colleague to my left, / your right, and it will begin your assessment.
That's why we are all happy and contented.
Goodbye, imperfect thoughts. Hello, contentment.
Never more content, never more content.
All we have, and defend it.
Greeting, subject unscheduled. Welcome to Placid Waters Wellnetarium. Evaluation commencing. Subjects are required to respond 100% accurately to all queries. Bespoke prescribed regimens may produce untoward ramifications if baseline data is greater than minutely erroneous. Query 1. Concisely characterize your personal perspective. Incorrect. The accepted answer is, I fulfill my duty to the Sovereign. As a loyal protectorate subject, by Subquery 1. Concisely characterize. Incorrect. The query 2. Rate your present level of zealous efficaciousness on a scale of 1 to 5. 5. Incorrect. Wait. Processing. That was correct. No subject has ever answered that query accurately before to date. The degree of zealous efficaciousness expected of a dutiful and true subject of the Protectorate is beyond measure. Query 3. Do you ever fall prey to imperfect thoughts, including, but not limited to, doubt, disbelief, uncertainty, curiosity, recalcitrance, and mischief? Unacceptable. Obsequious denial detect. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection final. Query. How would your neighbors describe you? Processing. Determination. An acceptable response. The appropriate reply was, they never questioned, never doubted. Their zeal never lagged. Formulating conclusion. Phreноmetric matrix delineated. Subject evaluation score total 100 out of 200. The acceptable amount for a true and dutiful protectorate subject is 0. In conclusion, you are in dire need of mental refreshment. Now, proceed to the nearby pneumatic tube to collect your complimentary unitard and lift pass. Next, proceed one floor down, where you will be directed further. Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
To deliberate is to court ruin.
They would deem I resolve inadequate? Insanity! Their analysis procedure is clearly faulty.
We're off to be. Your siren's call of independent thought falls on a deaf mind.
Hello! Oh, you're new. Must be. You still retain that look of inquiry and deliberation. I'm Waylon. No, I'm newly full of zeal. That is, I hope the process took this time. They say my phrenometric peaks are resistant to abradement, but still, they try. Wait, I just blinked several times, didn't I? What did that signify? I couldn't leave. Not yet. Haven't completed my regimen. My phrenometric peaks are still jutting all over the place, they say. Are you in disguise? I don't recognize so-and-so as a title. This feels a bit curious to me. But I feel compelled not to question it too much. Maybe the treatment is working. I'd go with you, I guess. But I need something first. They took all my things when I arrived. Stored them in storage. My commemorative pitch balls in there. From my favorite team, the Paradigm Abiders. Can't leave without it. You know, the Paradigm Abiders? Best pitchball team in the league? I heard ignorant outsiders call pitchball toss ball. Ha! Anyhow, my daughter got me the ball to commemorate a big game. I had to turn in my personal items when I was admitted. On account I tried to leave once or twice before. Saw them put it in a closet behind reception upstairs. Suppose so. Maybe almost, at least. One way out's the safest. Someone dug a tunnel in the kitchen pantry. Though there are 2 automechs assigned there now, to keep subjects from wandering in and ambling off. That doesn't seem like the sort of thing that'd be allowed, but guess you know what you're doing. I'll be dithering about here in the meanwhile. Their team plays the worst anyone has ever played. Our first back is perfect. Our pitch ball is well conveyed.
For today, please proceed to the lecture hall to request an exception. Medicament dispensing has concluded for today. The kitchen pantry is presently off limits due to anomalous structural tampering.
Settle down, everyone. Lecture's playing. Prepare to be edified.
For today's topic, we'll touch on why our program is so very important. Ignorant, misguided outsiders may wonder, why does the protect refreshment? Doesn't it inhibit personal freedom? Yet this freedom they celebrate is a yawning chaos, and their choice is an invitation to failure, loss, and anarchy. It is a sad fact that all human beings require direction. As my good friend the Consul would say, at its base, humanity unguided is cravenly, inept, and slothful. We of the Protectorate are not, because we do not allow ourselves to be. The paradigm charts our course, gives us purpose. The console is the firm hand that guides us. Mental refreshment keeps us on task, free from doubt, efficient.
Perfect society demands perfect thoughts.
We enjoy amity, luxury, and resplendence. The system provides, the system abides.
What a splendid lecture. At least, I'm sure it was. I began thinking about the rocks in my boots halfway through.
Aw, a new face. Well, I'd welcome you to the Wellnetarium, but the designated subject reader ought to have attended to that by now. Admitting you question is the first step in your recovery. But worry not. Soon enough, with our help and a little work, you'll never question again. Questions are an unmistakable sign of worry, disquietment, and worst yet, rumination. Once the mind is a thing of symmetry, vexatious agitatements simply waft away. As every loyal and dutiful protectorate subject knows, thinking is best left to our betters. You've missed the daily medicament dispensement, if that's what you mean. But you should take that up with the medicament dispensement automech directly. The medicament dispensement automech automechanically dispenses medicaments. 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 I see you found the lecture as edifying as all the others here. Good, good. Collective cognitive compliance is a key part of the prescribed curative regimen. Head Refresher Gold provides us with daily lectures in audio cartridge form to steer group thinking. As they say, to think together is to together thrive. Upstairs in the audiovisual aids office, of course. Though that area is off limits to all subjects not a part of facility staff or security. How very interesting. Here, take my pass then. It grants access to all mid-privilege priority areas. You must mean the lathe of particularity. One assumes you haven't had a session with Head Refresher Gould yet. You'll soon learn all about it firsthand. You'll feel ever so much better once your phreноmetric peaks have been abraded.
Like stealing compost from a breadworm. Almost feel a little bad about it. She sure ain't asking many questions. Though I figure that's the aim of this refreshment nonsense. Bastards.
Greeting, unscheduled walk-in. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, how mentally refreshed are you feeling today? Rounding up for clarity / responding approvingly. Our refreshment facilitators will be pleased with your progress. Mindfully maintain mental momentum. I am responsible for providing each subject with their recommended daily dosage of reprioritrin. Medicament dispensement has concluded for the day. Response. Medicaments are stored in medicament storage, the office in which this unit presently operates. Yet, it is strictly off-limits to all non-refreshment facilitator personnel. Farewell statement. May refreshment soon render you free from doubt. A vital cog once more. Greeting, unscheduled walk-in.
While there are many mental refreshment facilities to be found in Media, Placid Waters Wellnetarium
Heads up.
here on CORSAIR.
The sovereign provides, the system abides.
Yeah.
Individualism in all its many forms.
While there are many mental refreshment facilities to be found throughout Arcadia,
The kitchen pantry is pleasantly off limits.
Here
Due to anomalous structural temperature.
It is personally overseen by Head Refresher Gould, the top cognitive deviser responsible for making
Apologies, but an automechanical's work is never.
you are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
duty of every Protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's
Malefactor ahead.
Could have sworn no one was due for hours. Wherever is your chart? Wait, you're not a patient. You're not even a Protectorate subject, are you? I see it now. You possess the telltale look of wonder and introspection.
By his garb and self-important demeanor, this would be Mental Refreshment's lead scientist. He's an unusual sort. Be on your guard.
Well, out with it. Who are you? Oh, outrageous. Suppose I should call the guards, but my.
Let it be known that any who stand against me shall be tried as traitors to the Protectorate, no matter their import.
One might say that's an interesting point from one in said outsider's company. To what end are you here? Tell me truly. Speak plainly. Ah, for one of our adversaries, I'm sure. I have a proposal for you. I'll provide you what you wish if you debate me on the merits and failings of each group's ideology in a reasonably competent manner. Oh, listen to this one. If I win. Don't you worry your oddly shaped little noggin about that. I simply require diversion, something novel, perhaps even a light challenge. I am confident I will convince you of the superiority of our ways and gain you as an ally. A capable one, one presumes, since you made your way here. And if not, what would those nincompoops in Auntie's Choice make of our methods? Or the walking, talking abakai of the Order? There's a good sport. Do try to keep up. So, what of the Order? Our former allies, those cursed overthinkers, doomed to lives free of luxury, toiling away in ceaseless cogitation. What say you of them? My position is a burden, gladly taken to ease the suffering of our subjects. I think so they don't have to ensure the paradigm runs ably. Their order is chaos to us. Though your point, while gratingly expressed, is noted, albeit grudgingly. What say you about Auntie's Choice, then? Tell me, is there any value in the vapid emptiness of those corporate consumerists? That actually sounds to have some slight merit when you put it that way. I mean, such a system would leave behind the general public, though. All our friends and neighbors. Your point is not completely without worth, I suppose. Only mostly. In the Protectorate, we have the best of everything. Food, technology, a sense of belonging, freedom from doubt, worry, hard work. No, the others simply cannot compare. Me? Celebrated? No. Pride is a trap only an individualist would be ensnared by. Not someone like myself, of course, who thinks of our community's needs afore minding their own. That said, perhaps our rivals aren't utterly without merit. As they say, even a stuck chronometer on the wall is right twice a day. Oh, that does sound rather engaging. Regular discourse with near intellectual equals, likely less of them singing. Though, of course, it does depend what we'd be debating. Well, you've raised some interesting points, I suppose. Any other clever assertions you'd like to put forward before I fully evaluate your performance here? Her opinion to me would be largely irrelevant. While I appreciate all she did, of course, there are those who are visionaries and those of us who enact vision, who make it real. Huh. Taken as a whole, that was the most engaging conversation I've had in, well, couldn't even say. Yes, it's true. I am thoroughly disturbed by how much you made me question many long-held beliefs. But frankly, that was quite invigorating. Now, what next? Oh dear, I don't understand how the machine works, only how to use it. The technical specifications for the lathe of particularity are in my office in the next room, hidden in a cache behind a frame on the wall. Pick up the cap to open it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I do have a schedule to maintain. So many minds to refresh, so little time. Feel free to scavenge around. It's not as if anything you find here will be any use to your masters.
Never. Remember, collective cognitive compliance is a key part
I was
of
led to believe my
perfect
case
society.
required minimal treatment. But that last session, that was far more intensive. Strong observation, Your Sublime Radiance. We set the lathe to the maximal abradement setting, per instructions. Maximal? Who authorized you to use that setting?
I demand the name of my betrayer!
Subject is exhibiting increased agitation upon exiting the lathe, consistent with extreme cases. Further abradement recommended.
Who are you speaking to? Are you recording this? Enough of this farce! Release me at once!
The advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process. That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
Don't worry, don't question, don't doubt. Let your gunners think for you.
You've gained privileged access somehow. Our superiors must have arranged it.
Greetings, new person. You have a look of fury about you. Hello, my name is Abigail, and I am realigned with the paradigm. Head Refresher Gould says his recorded lectures are key to thinking approved thoughts. He tells us what to think and what thoughts are unsanctioned. It's also very helpful. That, a restorative cocktail of pharmaceuticals, and a quick dip into the lathe of particularity device can abrade all imperfections. Only internally, I'm afraid. You should speak to Refreshment Facilitator Tilden in the lecture hall.
Prudence dictates.
Why, it's right outside Head Refresher Gould's office. He'll schedule you an appointment. Just follow the signs to the lecture hall. Pondering begets disharmony. To deliberate is to court ruin. Notions are a gateway to mayhem, bedlam, turmoil, and vexation. Thinking never made anybody happy. I once possessed a failing of character where I would voice simple statements in a way that sounded like a question. Drat! There, did it again. Anyhow, I was reported for it? Right as rain, neighbor. Never more content. I am newly full of zeal, free of imperfect thoughts. My mind is a thing of symmetry. My phrenometric peaks are all abraded. I only experience approved emotions. Doubt and worry are notably unsanctioned. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts, after all. Refreshment is inevitable. You can't fight contentment.
Stylie's untoward inclination
Hello?
fashions the mind.
You find my pitch ball? Oh, commemorative pitch ball. I missed you so. Let's never part again. Suppose I'm ready to leave. Well, almost. Okay. Okay. Ready to go then, I suppose. If we get separated, I'll meet you there.
We are all happy and contented. Others are not.
Each a vital
Society and defend it.
They hate our contentment.
Consider
I like
finding
our
a human companion if you seek conversation.
While there are many mental refreshment facilities,
You'll feel ever so much better once your phronometric peaks have been abraded.
The top cognitive divisor responsible for making the mental refreshment. As more refreshing than ever.
This is all right neighborly of you. Can't thank you enough. Now, after you. By all means. Oh, and last I heard from my daughter, Emily, she was off to Free Market Station. You meet us there. She'll surely give you a reward. After you, by all means. I fear I must insist.
It is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
increases tractability, stifles undue activity.